Ladies and gentlemen, this session is sponsored by the Kresge Foundation. Please welcome the Chief Executive Officer of Detroit Future City, Anika Goss.
Let's call this song exactly what it is. What it is, what it is, what it is. It's a funky and low-down feeling. What it is. In the hips from left to right. What it is a hot beat to it. What it is. This funky dance all night long.
Retha, does it get any better than that? I don't think so. Thank you so much for having me here today. I want to thank Sandy Burra and the Chamber for allowing me to come outside in shoes and talk to people. I appreciate that. So I want to jump right in because I have quite a few slides and I don't know how long my dress is going to stay wrapped in all of this wind. And so I thought I would start today by letting you know how we've started at Detroit Future City and what we've been doing. So as you know, Detroit Future City led with the Detroit Strategic Framework in 2012. Since then, we have been trying to build our muscle in land use and environmental sustainability, in research and technical assistance, and community and economic development. And about a year ago, we launched the Center for Economic Equity, Engagement, and Research. And that center is really designed to focus on the data in terms of how Detroit will grow inclusively over time. And our team there, Ashley Williams-Clark is the director, is really focused on not only high-quality research, but also making sure that everyone understands that research. If you were the president of the block club or you were a president of the corporation, you are really clear about how Detroit is growing inclusively, and that's what the center is designed to do. So, as we were building the center, we talked to over 500 people to create a vision. You know what, I thank you, I appreciate it, but I'm gonna tough it out. Thank you, my sister Pam, who looks out for me, trying to help me pin my skirt. Give it up for the Detroit Public School Foundation. So we talked to over 500 people throughout Detroit that helped us create a vision for economic equity in Detroit. And I know you all can read, but we really believe this is actually worth stating. So we really believe that all Detroiters are meeting their unique needs, prospering and fully and fairly participating in all aspects of economic life within a thriving city and region. And we live by that. This is what drives us at DFC every day. So I want to talk about the data because it's really important, and it's why we're here today to talk about how to build policy. And so we want to start with where we are in Detroit. And so we have this dot map that we created and we've continued to update it. So inside, you see the city of Detroit. Detroit is 78% African American. All of the blue is African American. All of the pink are white households living outside of the city. This is really important. And this is important because as we continue to talk about equity, race matters. It's important. And it's important because Detroit is 78% African American. So the economic gains we make for Detroit are the economic gains that we are making for Black people here in Detroit. And that matters. That's important. And I'm going to tell you why. What we've also learned is that Detroiters' household income is half of that of the region. And that's why it matters if you're in Detroit and if you're Black. So what we wanted to do at Detroit Future City, because people had said, well, why would you focus on the middle class? We want to focus on the middle class and not just poverty, because it was really important for us to be able to move that needle from half of the middle class household, median household income to the region to a household income where you can actually support your family. So we looked at the national median income, to develop a middle class range for Detroit. And for Detroit, it's 52,000 to 131,000. 52,000 to 131,000. But the problem with that is that 2/3 of Detroiters are making less than $50,000 a year. And so it's this notion that is really why we need to create an economic agenda that can move Detroiters into the middle class. So when we're thinking about that, let's talk about the middle class and what that means for us. The middle class share in Detroit in 2010 was 27%. And in 2019, it was also 27%. Now, this is pre-COVID. It's important that we understand where we were pre-COVID, because when these numbers come out at the end in the fall and next year, it's going to look really, really dark and scary. But what we know is that 27%, the middle class household, hasn't changed. Now, why hasn't it changed? One of the reasons it hasn't changed is because geography also matters. That original dot map that I showed you before matters. So then you have to begin to look at the neighborhoods and where people are actually living. So in the last 10 years, Detroit lost 11 middle-class neighborhoods, which is a problem. And you can see from the map, and the pink are neighborhoods we've lost, and the blue are the neighborhoods that are stable. But I'm going to tell you what really concerns me. What concerns me are the neighborhoods that we've gained. We've gained 4 neighborhoods over the last 3 years since we started tracking this data, which we will continue to track this data on our data platform on our website. And so we've gained 4 middle-class neighborhoods, but when you look closer at those neighborhoods that are downtown and midtown, and then a little bit of the west side that we still haven't figured out. We'd have to actually go there to figure out and knock on doors and figure out who's living there. But what we know about this is that in these neighborhoods, the population that has gained is upper middle class and white. And I'll tell you why that matters. Because across the region, so across the region, not just Detroit, but across the region, 75% of white middle-class households choose to live in middle-class neighborhoods, as opposed to 33% of African Americans. So why is that a problem for us? It's not a problem for Farmington. It's not a problem for West Bloomfield. But in Detroit, what that means for us is that black households are not choosing they're not choosing Detroit as their home. 54% of African Americans are living outside of the city once they become middle class. And that becomes a problem for how we grow the city, because you can't grow the city if you're not growing places for everyone to be able to prosper. So, as I close out, what do we do about this? These are dark, dark days on a windy day. It's stormy. It feels very ominous. I only have 1 minute and 33 seconds left, but this is what I want to leave you with. One, the way we start with this are middle wage jobs. And I'm going to say something that's not very popular, which shouldn't be new to any of you. A middle wage job is a job that makes at least $18 an hour and has the opportunity for promotion. That's a middle wage job. Every job in Detroit needs to be a middle wage job. Whether you are a nursing assistant or a plumber or an electrical apprentice, that's where we start. We also need to start with educational outcomes, right? It is trade school is a part of this too. We need to make sure that we are educating everyone, and everyone is prepared at every level, at every rung of the educational ladder. but only 14% of Detroiters have an associate's degree or higher. And that's problematic, because even if we start with these middle wage jobs, Detroiters need to be able to also qualify for higher wage jobs. And the last thing I want to be able to talk about is quality health care and neighborhoods themselves. We need to be able to access quality health care for absolutely everyone, and think about our neighborhoods as areas that can prosper, areas that anyone can live in and raise their family and thrive. So I just want to thank you today, because I know that you all care about Detroit enough to believe that we are all in this together. Detroit's future is a place where we are all thriving. Detroit's future is a place where we are all prosperous, every single one of us. Thank you so much.